Hi all, welcome to my channel. Today I have a game for you between Paul Morphy and his dad, Alonzo Morphy. And the reason I want to show this is personally I'm a big fan of Paul Morphy, and this channel is actually in its infancy. So I thought it would be fitting to show a game from Paul's childhood. And he plays it against his dad, so it's just a casual game. But you can already see the potential within Paul and his attacking mentality. Yeah, so let's see this game. So he opens with e4. We've got e5, knight to f3, knight to c6. We got bishop to c4 and bishop to c5, the Jacobiano. We've got b4, the Evans Gambit. Bishop takes c3, and now you could maybe go back to e7, for example, or a5 is normal. But uh, Alonso goes to c5, and immediately it gets kicks back again with d4, takes, and bishop b6. We've got castles by white, knight to a5, bishop retreats to d3, knight to e7, knight to c3, castles, and bishop to a3. So white is nicely developed. Black still has to develop its light square bishop, and it would be best to actually challenge this bishop since this is already starting to look very strong for white indeed. So we've got d6 by black, e5, and now immediately bishop to f5 challenging that strong light square bishop. We've got takes, and then knight to e4. White not willing to part with his light square bishop, tries to avoid like this. We've got d5. Black tries to challenge the knight again so he can take care of this bishop on d3. But now actually there is a tactical brilliancy, so to speak, by young Paul Morphy. I wonder if you can spot it. It's not so much about winning material, but it's actually gaining an advantage on the king's side. So what Paul actually played here is knight to f6. Not sure if you spotted this, but you can see with the check, um, you can see the potential danger here. And white is not losing material. After f takes, bishop takes, queen takes, there's bishop takes f5. So now the material is still equal, but the pawn structure on the side of black is ruined. We've got the the pieces of white all eyeing uh, this king's side, ready to attack, and we've got the pieces of black on the side of the board doing nothing. So black tries to activate his pieces and played knight to c4. And actually, this loses on the spot, believe it or not, because exactly the plan which I showed you earlier is knight to f4, h6 necessary, queen to h5, king to g7, bishop to c2, and now already you're threatening here a check, and you have to defend this with knight to d6. Check anyway, takes, check, king goes back, and now it threatens checkmate on h7. So the only way to defend this is to sacrifice the queen. So a very interesting line after this knight to c4, which is already possible, but young Paul Morphy didn't see this and played actually rook to e1. So we've got knight to d6, and now knight to e5, ready to unleash the power of the bishop and the queen. So we got takes, check, king to h8, queen to h5, and already there's checkmate in the works. Black plays king to g7, queen to g5, king to h8, and queen back to h5. We got h6, another way to defend it. And now what you want to do is to make sure this queen can't defend this a6 pawn because there is checkmate. Yes. So the way Paul tries it is with rook to e5, and the thing is, um, what happens next is takes, and now the black queen can take, and these squares are also taken. So the only square which is left for black is actually c6. And now Paul tries to block this queen by playing e6. So the only way to defend the pawn now is actually king to g7. But white continues the attack. Yes, we have g4 with the idea of g5 and then challenge h6. We got queen to c3, attacking the rook. But, you know, a rook is just a rook. And Paul plays g5. And actually, this just loses the game terribly. Um, because after queen takes h1 and king to g2, there is a way for black to defend this. And that's actually king to g8. Because now, if white takes, black can simply defend. And there's nothing to be done here. And the attack of white ceases. Unfortunately for Alonso, he didn't spot this. And instead of king g8, he plays queen to f6. Which seems very strange, but it's the only thing he saw to keep defending his h6 pawn. But yeah, white takes, king takes, takes and takes, and we have a check on g6, king goes to e7, a check on e6, king goes to e8, queen to h6 with check, rook to g7 with check, and now you could go with a few different options. You could maybe go, king to f3 or maybe king to f1, but Paul Morphy decides to block it with the bishop, and also he actually tries to limit the movement of the king. So king to g8, and now h4. Yeah, trying to march that pawn forward. But black also has a passed pawn. So he plays d4, h5, d3, queen to g5, rook to d8, preparing to push d2, h6, and now, yeah, just d2, not caring, just d2. We got queen to f6. If you take immediately, actually, you lose your passed pawn, and black is actually winning. Yes, so because he can actually make a queen. So what you want to do is keep the pressure. So queen to f6, threatening checkmate. Then we get rook g to d7. But now there's a forced mate in 9, which is bishop f5. Uh, Black does queens, h7 with check, rook to h7, bishop e6 with check, rook blocks, we got takes, king moves to h7, queen to g6, king to h8, and we have queen to h6, which is checkmate. A fantastic game by young Paul Morphy, showing his attacking mentality and showing he's not afraid to sacrifice his pieces all over the board just to attack. In this game, maybe it was not the most accurate because black could have defended, but it's this mentality and it's this style of play is why we all love Paul Morphy. So I hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you do, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.